Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mind Fire podcast show. I'm your host, Tony Budri, and I'm very excited today to have our guest with us today. Mr. Carlos is in the house, and we're going to be sharing some really cool branding, marketing, and even style fashion. I personally admire this young man. He puts in tremendous amount of effort in everything that he does, and I see a even more brighter future for him. And today, the objective is to kind of get into his mind, learn from him some things that will inspire an aha moment, and also get one, if not maybe couple, specific tips that come from his personal expertise that you can kind of apply to yourself with the hope that it will help you improve yours. With that being said, Carlos, welcome to the show, man.
I'm happy to be here.
How are you today?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you. Really appreciate the opportunity to come up to your podcast and get to share what I'm up to and just be here.
Hey, man, I'm very happy that you're here, man. I'm very excited. I love having you around. I love the energy that you bring. So the last time that you were here, we did something that was kind of really cool. I thought you were sporting these really cool high-end jeans, and they had this amazing fabric. And, you did, an amazing sales marketing technique that I thought it was just genius, but you kind of did it very organically, which was, you asked me what my size was and you made me try them on. And, I was initially joking with you about how, they're great jeans and, I don't spend more than $40, $50 on mine.
Yeah. And
after you got me to try them on, I liked them so much. I was like, dude, I'll pay $80 like right now for it. So that was really great. So, tell us about, that particular company and that particular brand a little bit.
Well, like how it all started, like as the beginning, as how I met him and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Because
tell us what it is first.
Well, Shabby Jeans is a is a denim brand here in LA. We manufacture and we make everything. Everything's premium. We have their own manufacturer, so everything that we get, the fabrics come from Milan, Italy, from the Candiani family, which is a huge family that's been on business for over 100 years doing thread and stuff. And it's really sustainable denim. So we grab all the fabrics from there. We make them here in LA. And just, trying to bring some sustainability, some help the environment, and trying to bring comfortable jeans to people that, you're paying this amount of money for real high quality denim that it's going to last you a long lifetime. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So you guys manufacture this really high-end material, Candiani that is, and you guys actually cut and style all the jeans here in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The normal kind of operation usually kind of taking the manufacturing out overseas or abroad generally, but no, that's really fantastic that you guys are kind of keeping the local economy stimulated. Was that part of the mission of the company, or was that something just kind of happened by itself?
So we basically started as a manufacturer. We would produce denim for other brands, and like True Religion, Mother Denim, NYDJ, all these really good brands. And when the economy crashed in 2008, they all decided to leave to China and Mexico since the production was a lot cheaper.
Right.
And so we held on to a couple brands that decided to stay here and keep supporting us and the LA made brand stuff. So yeah, other than that, I mean, like
awesome, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. What we wanted to know was just like that's really cool, man. Because I mean, we see everybody leaving kind of the states. Everybody's going abroad. Even earlier before we even started the podcast, we talked about how you said Kanye West, and he's been contemplating and I don't know, starting some sort of a cotton farm and bringing manufacturing back to the States.
Yes, that's his focus.
We spoke briefly about how that's not necessarily the most cost-efficient way, but it seems that Zavi or Shabby brand, that's how you say it, right? Shabby,
yes.
Right? Have figured out a way around that, that little caveat, which is really awesome. So tell us, what do you do exactly with them?
A little background story. I met them in my senior year of high school, where Steve Lobel was doing public speaking at our school, an auditorium. And they were one of the people he brought with them. So they were giving out jeans to the community just to give back. And while Steve Lobel was talking and spitting his, his fire and what advice he had for us young kids. I was more paying attention more to them because I myself wanted to start my own brand, and I had a lot of questions. I wanted to go up to them and just, talk to them and see what advice they could give me to start my own brand, or how could I go about it. And I started by providing value, which was asking, what can I do for free? Like, what can I do to help you guys grow your brand? And
you actually asked that
was
question.
Just naturally. Yeah, it was just naturally.
You naturally asked that question as a teenager.
Yeah,
to a company that's already kind of full steam and
yeah, huge brand. I mean, the manufacturer had over 500
No,
employees.
that's brilliant. It's a testament to your natural brilliance, that you recognize something like that. I mean, usually that's kind of like a taught understanding that, hey, you know what, I'm going to go in there, and if I really want to work with a group, let me provide them with value up front. Let them see what I can do, and and then I can kind of contribute to them on a more formal basis in the near future.
Yeah,
that's brilliant, man. Okay, so what was so tell me, like, what made you someone who aspires to always and focus on self-development? I see you keep the company of folks much older than you are.
Yeah.
You're always around the entrepreneurial community. You're someone who's very physically fit, and it tells me a lot about your discipline and your focus. How did that come about? What was this insight that you got at such an early age that, hey, that I want to be in the entrepreneurial space, and within the entrepreneurial space, you wanted to serve specifically within the marketing world?
Yeah. Well, I was kind of good at school and stuff in the beginning, and then my parents would always just say that school is the way to go and all this, but little by little I started figuring out myself, like, this is not really for me. I don't want to focus on I don't want to become a doctor. I'm not like a lawyer or anything. I was always in the active aspect of it. So, like, I always fell into bodybuilding, like a place where I could go and feel relaxed. That's my space where I just zone out from everything, and I just do my thing. So I started taking taking the steps to like researching how to properly do something, and working towards it, actually putting in the work and seeing the results within time. So the consistency and that addiction fell into place, and everything else just started coming along. But as far as like the bodybuilding aspect, that's like one of my dreams, to become Mr. Olympia one day.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So right now, first things first, I need to get myself in the first show, and that would be like one of the steps to getting myself in there and actually putting in the work. And I'm actually training with one of the best coaches in the world, with Psycho Fitness 21.
Psycho Fitness 21. Shout out.
So yeah. It starts off with figuring yourself out, what makes you happy, and trying to see what you can do to help others as well at the same time. It's not always about yourself. It's just, what can you provide and what can you give? And eventually, by you giving, you will manifest the return. So
it's so funny that you said that. I was just sharing with someone that to get is to give, and to give is to get, and you have to give first, and you have to give in full, and that's how you get more in return. Now, there's nothing wrong with knowing that, hey, I'm giving because I want to get. There's nothing wrong with that, But what's wrong is with thinking that I just want to get without giving anything.
Yeah.
So that's really, really, really awesome. So definitely, talking to a future Mr. Olympia, I definitely see that in your very near future. I personally try to kind of work out a bit here and there, but I've never been able to kind of develop that deeper commitment that a bodybuilder would need to have. When did you know that you wanted to bodybuild? Like, you just celebrated a birthday, right?
Yeah.
So let's start off with that. It was the day before yesterday, right?
Yes.
It was your birthday. So happy belated birthday, first and foremost. Maybe we should have started with that. And you're a fairly young man. You barely just skipped your teenage years. 20 years old.
Just turned 20, but
20 years old, and you're doing all of these high level stuff, man. That's really, really, really awesome. So when did you know that, when did you start, and when did you know that you wanted to become a bodybuilder professionally, and chart your way to Mr. Olympia? Because that's quite awesome.
As a kid, like I would always, whatever it is that I did, I wanted to be the best at that. No matter what it was. If it was me cleaning something, I wanted to be the best, like, cleaning person, like, ever that just happened to exist.
Okay.
So I fell into bodybuilding because I went through a bad breakup, and that got me more. I've always been active, but that was just like something that I fell into. Like instead of drinking or just eating or stuff like that, I just wanted to be more active and get my mind out of stuff.
So this is really, really important. So you said you had fire, okay, that you had to channel in a constructive way from a bad relationship, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, have a bad experience with a relationship. And unlike most folks who will find, some sort of a destructive outlet, whether, I don't know, becoming aggressive or becoming mean or started drinking or smoking or doing something like that.
Yeah.
You channel that energy into working out.
Into training, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how did that happen? I mean, that's really, really awesome. I mean, because it takes consciousness to do that. The natural default mode would be to have resentment, to be angry, to go on a rant and be a player,
be depressed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
how did you find this constructive way? I mean,
it's just the way it made me feel. Like when I train, it makes me feel good. It makes me just forget about everything and just feel myself and just think about what I can do as a human being. And I did come to realize, like, we do live one time, and whatever you live behind, it's what it is.
Amen. Yes.
So like I said, I always wanted to be the best at whatever it is that I wanted to do. And at that time, 17 years old, I was training 6 months in, and I was like, I gotta be Miss Olympia. That's the highest that you can be. So Miss Olympia is the goal, and I want to become Miss Olympia. So it's about putting in the work.
And Mr. Olympia, you will be. I definitely see that for you, man. I have really bad dietary habits. I probably drink more coffee than water and things like that. I see you're pretty adamant about your diet. So when you set that goal, so first you channeled your energy constructively. So you started working out, and then after that you developed a goal. You said, hey, you know what? I like this, I like this experience in my life of working out. I like how it makes me feel, and I like how it makes me look, and I like the discipline, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Then you set up a very massive goal, of becoming Mr. Olympia. How did that come about?
Because transition into
that's really, really cool.
Work out and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's really awesome.
It's just if you're gonna do something, you should go all in, especially if you know that's what you love to do, and that brings you a lot of happiness. So you should definitely go all in and want to be the best at what you do. And at the same time, I always think about not knocking other people down, but bringing them up as well. So it's health. Health is wealth. Health is everything. And if there's anything that I could help someone with, is their health. And if there's anything I could share with, like nutrition, training, or just give some tips or just listen, I would definitely go into that with that.
Awesome. And how did you strategically get yourself to be part of some of the most elite bodybuilding team?
Working for free, man. Providing value. That's all. Value. It's just yeah.
So tell us, what was the starting point? What was that first point of interaction? Like, how did that come about? I mean, you just showed up at their gym and said, hey guys, you know what? I'm a digital marketing expert.
No.
And now,
a whole different thing. So how I met the best trainer in the world, man, Psycho Fitness. So he had just recently won the Mr. Olympia in 2018. Sean Roden, he's the one that coached him through the whole prep and everything. And he got his name came up obviously since he became Mr. Olympia. So I was like, man, I got to train with this guy. And I went one day to Gold's Gym Venice. He was training there, and I got to train with him twice, 2 sessions. And after that, I just knew that I had to be around this guy. Like, I had to figure out a way to be in his circle and to just, try to help him out or whatever he's doing. So I linked up a good friend of mine, Ruben, and I told him that, hey, this is a videographer. He's really good, and I know you need one. So we'll do some work for free just so you can see what we can do. And we did. And that happened. So now they're working together, and part of the contract, he said, come along and train with us. We really appreciate you. We like the energy that you have, and we see we see your potential. So I got in there by providing value and connecting with people, and just doing that. And that was just naturally because I just wanted to be around this guy, so I had to figure something out.
Wow. So right now you are actually training with Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal, man. That you were able to actually really put that together. And as you already know, I think I believe this is going to be the catalyst that was going to make you Mr. Olympia in the very near future. Is that you figure the part that, hey, you know what? If you want to do something, make sure you get mentored by someone who actually did it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what they call the proven method, and that's something that we are very big on here on Mindset Fire. Is that, hey, you know what? We want to provide our listeners with shortcuts, you know, to their greatness. How do we do that? You know, and just keeping it raw and keeping it real. So that's really, really cool, man. So, okay. So now tell us about how you actually provide value for your clients.
How I provide value?
Yeah, you know,
By
tell
giving.
us more about some of the creative things. I mean, I know you got your hands on a lot of different things, whether it's digital marketing or social media or video production. Yeah, you know, tell us about these things.
So, man, right now, honestly, like for my age, I feel like, you know, doing a lot of work for free. It's really like hard because especially you're not making any money, and you got to sustain yourself with, you know, stuff. You got to buy stuff, etc. Right. So
and working out is super expensive.
Yeah, and training is, man, it's crazy. It's a lot of money invested in yourself, which is another thing that is good about it because you're investing in yourself at all times. And it's going to help you in the long run, obviously. Yeah. But I'm doing a lot of work for, you know, this dental manufacturer. I'm doing helping them out for free. I'm not asking anything in return. I know in the long run it's going to help me. Same thing with Chris. Eventually I do want to pour more money into with Chris and get more a one-on-one type of thing with them so I can become who I want to become. And I'm working also with a photographer in LA, one of the best photographers that you could get. And so I'm really happy to be around him too. He has his own studio coming up. And then working with a good guy that's, you know, really, really genius on the fucking aspect of marketing. So, I mean, everything that I'm doing, I'm not really thinking about it. It's more like coming in together. But I know that I'm manifesting this through my actions. So that's all that really matters to me. You know, just stay focused and keep going.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Manifesting through action. I love that. I love how you said that. That was that's a little bit above your age tier, man. Yeah. You know, welcome to the 20s. You know, you know, wisdom is definitely kind of showing itself. You know, that's fantastic, man. You know, tell us more about how you help the Shabby brand in particular, because I fell in love with that particular brand. You know. And I'm not a guy who consumes quite a bit of luxury, but that was one company through you I got to know them and I got to appreciate better what they do and the quality of what they do. You know, tell us more about how you're helping them kind of you know, get exposed more and more and you know, putting themselves in front of the masses.
So as far as Shabby Jeans, for the marketing aspect, it's not just about posting content and then checking the box that you post something today on social media. Yeah. It's more about going in detail and storytelling what the brand is about and how it started and what's their why. Obviously, they want to provide jobs more here in LA and make everything here in LA, not imports and stuff. So that's something huge for them that they want to get out there. So it's about capturing that and creating content around that, and by doing a video series, which is really, really important right nowadays because not a lot of brands are doing that. Yeah. And so yeah, we're slowly getting into it. You know, getting on all the social media platforms that are have the attention today, and that it's really underpriced attention. So it's really, really good things to talk about when it comes to that. But it's pouring more about money into the social media and then on billboards or flyers and stuff like that, because that's old school. The attention's all now on your phone, which is accessible to anybody at all times. Yes. So, you know, yeah.
Awesome, man. And I've also seen you doing work with the CT Fletcher team as well, too. Tell us a little bit more about that.
CT Fletcher, man. Yeah. Good people, man. I really appreciate it. Doing work for free again. I managed, it's crazy. It was an expo in Anaheim, and I really always listened to CT Fletcher in high school and I trained. He was always, you know, that person in my head that kept me going and said, you know, keep pushing no matter what, whatever you're going through. And he always kept it real. I was related to him in that way. And so in this expo, I just, you know, I did GIFs. Like, so that's a huge brand point that not a lot of brands are doing right now. And it's actually coming up again. So Jiffy, it's a animated like picture or video created into a really small.
I think they're cool as hell, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did that, and I told them they didn't know how to do that. So I told them that I knew how to do it, and I will do it for free because I just want to help them. And it all started like that, and now hanging out with them, and yeah, so it's pretty cool.
I mean, I'm a personal fan of CT Fletcher. I listen to, like you said, he keeps it real, and I listen to a lot of his motivational videos on YouTube and similar platforms. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one line of him. I mean, he's a huge man when it comes to profanity, and there's this one line that he repeatedly said, and maybe we can bleep this later on in the podcast if need be. But there's this line that I remember when I wake up and I don't feel like waking up, and he's like, boo-hoo, motherfucker, boo-hoo, cry, or something like that. But I just remember that, like no one really cares about your excuses. No one really knows your pain, your story, know. But I found that very, very motivating. Like, boo-hoo, ha, ha, ha. No one's going to come and freaking do the work for you.
Yeah.
You got to kind of just find it in you. No excuses, So with that being said, I wanted to kind of, share some of the things that people don't just get to know about you automatically. This is the part in where you kind of share some of the stories that makes you more human. Because a lot of us, on the surface, we seem so like supernatural and as if we have everything is perfect. But the truth is that the stronger you are, that means that you've been through more trials and tribulations in life. Yeah. That means that you were able to handle more blows that were dealt to you by life, and that's how you become the strong and effective person that you are. So tell us about a mistake or some experiences you've had that many people don't know about you, but you learned.
That made me stronger through that. Okay. Yeah. So I actually do have one that popped in my head.
Excellent.
Just talking about that. So at I believe I was freshman. Just came back from Mexico. My mom, she couldn't afford to pay the rent, so we were kicked out. And we were homeless for like 6 months. So we were living like with like family or friends. And me noticing that like shit's real out here, and you just gotta figure it out, because eventually they're gonna die or something happens and stuff like that. And so you have to just like take responsibility for what's going on around you and being more of a man and actually providing something that you can say that So
tell us, like, what was it, see, a lot of so
it's like being more grateful, like just appreciating all the things that you had, because at the time I didn't notice that we had a bed, like we had food, we had a place to even sleep and stuff. So when that was taken away from me and my family, it just like, man, like we had it so good, and we're over here complaining when we do have it. So they took that all away from me, and then that just made me my perspective changed at that moment. And I think that's when it all started, when like being more of a like open-minded and being more of a grateful for the things that I have today.
Yes, sir.
What my capabilities are and the potential that we all have to make stuff happen.
Yeah, I that makes a lot of sense. At first, I didn't know that about you, and now it helps me understand why you have this natural, gratitude about you most of the time. I think I understand that a little bit better.
Yeah.
And they say that gratitude and fear or anxiety can exist at the same time. So they say the moment that you start feeling some sort of anything negative in terms of emotion, you just you look and you say, hey, you know what, I'm grateful for being alive right now, being here, being able to have my sanity, and then have my health. So that's really, really fantastic. So that's a wow. So since then, things have obviously changed, and they have improved, and and now you're on this path towards Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
And tell us about that. Tell us some of the things that that you do for yourself, because I know you're very busy.
Everything that I do is really long term, so I don't really see it as a short term thing, like trying to get something quick and just go run with it. So everything that I do is a really, really long term, which I guess I always had that, but I don't really think about it too much. I just know that helping people out is always good, and if there's anything that I could do, obviously I'll do it. So it's always about providing that value. I naturally do that, so it's just coming in. That helps me. I guess it's a skill. So not a lot of people have that.
It's a very awesome skill to have. Yes.
Yeah, and the long term, besides Mr. Olympia, because I really do want to get into personalizing my brand, which is myself, and getting out there more, posting more content that could potentially help generations behind me. And with all this social media, the free distribution, it's crazy. So it's about just getting on it and actually creating it and making it happen.
You just promised me one thing, when you do become Mr. Olympia, that you're not going to be the stiff type of Mr. Olympia, that you're going to be the Kai Green type of Mr. Olympia. I love Kai Green. I love how he entertains. I love how he storytells, like you say. And I think that's why, he's very popular, is because he is, he's kind of almost this fictional type of persona.
Character, yeah.
And I love how he puts on this Japanese mask and he will just go and just do what do they call him when he just posts.
Yeah,
poses?
everybody has their own thing. So
Right.
I eventually would fall into he loves to act, I guess, and he fell into acting and he's doing his own personalized things, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think I would love to see myself later on a stage talking to other people too. And just sharing what I know and see what I can do to help them out. And, eventually building my brand is going to help me do that. And working for free right now is going to help me in the long run. And, whatever it is, that it comes along my way, it is what it is. And I'll take it as a most positive aspect. And, I'm really optimistic. So I see things in all the good, even
Awesome,
if it's
man.
bad. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. No, like I said, man, I'm one of your fans, so I'm very, very happy that you're here. Now, I want our audience to, to learn from you. Okay. There's a lot of young folks out there like yourself who don't have the clarity and the direction that you have, they're kind of torn between buying the, Gary V, starting your own digital agency course or actually going to college, And today, a very popular topic is like whether, hey, should I pursue any more education after high school, or should I go to college, or should I just
That's
go
when the
out there and
self-awareness
hustle?
comes in, though.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
why you got to figure out who you are before you even try to step into something. So a lot of people, I'm grateful that I could see that now, but a lot of people my age are not really, they don't know what they want to be. They don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
Their parents are forcing them to do things and they don't want to do it,
Right.
or,
Yeah.
and so it's about communicating with your people, the closest people to you, and telling them and sharing what is it that you want to do, or if you don't know yet, then take time to figure out what is it that you love and what is it that makes you happy, and go towards that path.
I see.
Even if you disappoint the closest people to you, because eventually in the long run, they're gonna be happy because you're happy.
Oh, that's beautiful,
Yeah.
man. I love how you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's really
man.
simple, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed that you're always around people that are older than you, more experienced than you. I've noticed that explicitly now. I've never seen you hang out with anybody like your age or even younger than you.
Yeah.
Has this been part of your strategy to help you kind of excel towards greater success?
That's good insight too. That I was taking notice too. In high school I would hang out with friends that were my age, obviously, but once high school finished, it's more about these older people, because they're the ones that have been through it, so they have experience, and I want to pick their brains, and I want to learn from them. So yeah, it's just I took myself away from the partying. I never really liked to party and stuff, so it wasn't my thing. So I was always being self-development and seeing what I can do to help myself grow mentally, and bodybuilding has helped me with the mental part. So, and physically it just shows. So that's the investment and the ROI out of it.
Yeah.
And you start developing this mindset, and you start hanging out with people that you feel you can relate to and you can learn from.
Yes.
So yeah, 70-year-olds. I hang out with 70-year-olds. It's good people. They have really good perspective.
You're hanging out with City Fletcher, man. That's cool as hell, man.
Fletcher, man, the guy. Yeah.
That's really cool. So, for the young folks out there, okay, that have absolutely no direction in life and what they want, what do you say to them?
Oh, you guys, if you guys are listening to this and you guys still don't know what you're gonna do, definitely take time to figure out who you are. And by that I mean, just stepping back from everything that's going on, the social media, everything. Just sit down somewhere or go somewhere where you feel like makes you happy or makes you calm, and just think about and reflect what you've been doing and how everything around you has been changing, and what is the thing that you want to do most. Because if you want to become the greatest of all time or whatever that you want to do, you have to make sure you're putting in the work and you're putting in the action to match those ambitions. So yeah, just figure out who you are and go all in.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it, man. I'm a refugee to the country, so a lot of what I have learned through the years was through kind of through trials and errors once again. And I didn't really have any clarity in what I wanted to do kind of growing up. I mean, I didn't have any sense of direction until about like maybe 22, 23. What I did know prior to that, and in a similar kind of setting as yours, is that I was a refugee, Section 8, food stamps when they were paper and you rip them out to buy food, and I knew I wanted to kind of just change that. And I just knew money might have been the answer, but then every time you chase money, you never get that. If you want to chime in, jump in.
I also wanted to say, just because you're young and you guys shouldn't think you have everything figured out. Also, you guys have a lot of time.
Yeah.
You guys are very young. You guys can mess up the next 10 years and still bounce back. So
without
it's just
any
about
crime.
tasting stuff. Go taste things, go do things, and see and figure out what is it that you want to do. So that's huge. Like, don't rush it. I mean, you guys are fucking young, so just be patient and keep working and just taste things, try new things, try try to figure out what it is that you like to do.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Okay, so to dabble. So I think your strategy has been, if you have an interest in an area or in a field, go and say, hey guys, you know what? I'm willing to work for free and provide value,
Yes.
so I can learn and become part of the
Yes.
team. I mean, I think that's an amazing strategy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fantastic, man.
Tell us secrets.
Yeah, and this is really beautiful. If people, by the way, before I even ask that question, I want to know some of what is something that you're currently working on that you're very excited about, that we should look forward to it having be put out by you. Are you working on anything, any new projects? Anything specific, and maybe like a webinar, a seminar, a podcast,
No, none of that. Because
honestly,
honestly,
what about a nutrition course?
I'm still myself. I'm still learning. So
Okay.
I'm just in that phase. Like, I'm learning, I'm tasting, and I'm just doing. So
Love it.
I mean, I don't plan ahead because plans change, and you never know if you're gonna make it by tomorrow. Honestly,
Right.
like
True.
if you keep it honest, like So it's just about every day being at the presence and working on your goals every single day.
Cool.
And
All right.
Yeah.
And I have one last piece of inquiry that I would like to inquire about. How do I phrase that? I'm trying to find something a little bit more poetic to ask, but I had a really good question too. I really did. It just jumped out of my brain. That's in all honest truth. But I'll come back. Okay. Tell us about social media and the power of social media to work for you, not against you. Okay.
Okay.
Today most folks your age are the product, right?
Yeah.
They're just using social media for
Personal stuff.
Yeah. How has your perspective been different on that?
So before, I really didn't think about much of posting content and trying to become relevant in today's social media marketing thing. So I mean, I've been learning a lot. So it's more about where the attention is and how you can use those platforms to create content that is both informational and is going to help you in the long run to build your self-brand and sell, because everybody sells.
Yes.
Everybody wants to sell something.
Absolutely.
Or has to make money somehow.
Yes.
And if you're into that, I mean, definitely posting content and being genuine about like whatever it is that you do, and just providing that value up front with no expectations in return, in the long run is going to help you build that brand and help sell. Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
So you got to be on top of it, guys. I mean, TikTok right now is really hot, and it's actually increased of attention, and there's a lot of people on it right now, and it's going into that it used to be for kids. Now I guess teenagers are coming in already, and some adults I've seen that are using it, and they're celebrities. So it's a matter of time for it to pop, and everybody's going to be using it. Instagram decreasing on the engagement, So I noticed that myself. So now you got to do paid media, and it's like Facebook. You got to do paid media as well because the organic reach sucks.
Yeah, no, you got to pay to play today.
Yeah. I mean, just test each platform that you see is coming up, and make content around it. I mean, stick to it, and just go for it. There's nothing.
TikTok. I keep hearing that, and you guys have heard it here first. From Carlos's mouth directly. It seems like TikTok is the next big thing, and as you said, that there's been some decreased engagement on most social.
Most. I mean, it's evolving. It's constantly changing. So you want to be constantly changing too with it. And right now, like I said, TikTok it's on, and it's definitely something that we should be creating content as much as possible.
Okay.
So
I dig it.
I mean, I'm not a marketing expert either, but I just know that there's attention on that platform.
Speaking of which, I was gonna say, who are some of the people that you follow? Some of the people that inspire you? Some of the people that you think that the people that are listening to you right now? Yeah. Who would you say? To the people that look up to you, that and they want to know who you're listening to. Who are you watching? Who are you learning from?
I listen a lot to Gary Vaynerchuk, which is a guy that is always providing value and is never asking anything in return. So I think that's something to take from, and having to listen to his rants every single day, which is the same shit over time. It's just you gotta catch onto it. And so, but Gary V keeps it real, and he keeps it 100.
Gary V, I like Gary V.
He's always doing his thing. So I mean, Gary V's the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, and I enjoyed that little video you and I did on the Gary V. A couple of weeks ago. Where I put on the Gary V beanie. Okay, and who else? Who else are you following?
I think that's basically it.
That's your guy.
That's the guy that I like.
That's your guy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What about?
Don't know who he is.
Wah. No one that I think we should worry about too much. Well,
By the way, Logan Paul, man, that he's doing big too. So his way of approaching things is really good, and going around series and stuff that he's doing on Snapchat, which I've noticed. It's pretty dope what he's doing. And he's leading up to the fight that he has on November 9th. So that's pretty dope, man. Shout out to Logan Paul for that everything that he's doing. Really appreciate you guys.
That's what's
and
up.
His team for making content. And sharing what he's doing.
I love that, man. You know what? I wasn't really kind of on the up on that, but now I'm gonna have to go and educate myself because I am looking forward to that fight. Carlos, man, it's an absolute amaze and pleasure to be having you here, man. Is there any last thing that you feel compelled that you want to share with the audience out there?
I think. Don't overthink stuff. Do you try things out? Be open-minded to trying new things and helping people out. And there's still a lot going on. I still gotta figure out myself out. There's a lot of things to learn and definitely go away things. So I mean, I just appreciate you guys' time and thank you for listening.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your insight, your wisdom with us, man. I know this will be an inspiring, podcast for a lot of young folks who feel a little bit lost, in the maze of life. And, it's really, 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 really cool to see that there is a new generation that is conscious, that is intelligent, that is wise, that is self-actualizing, coming down the pipeline. It makes us feel a little bit more optimistic about the future as your older brother as that is, With that being said, I want to also thank you, our podcast listeners, for tuning in today. Carlos, can you tell our audience where they can connect with you if they want to connect with you? Where can they find you?
If you guys are interested in, figuring out more about what I'm about and what I'm up to, you could check me out at Carlos Macklain. That's basically my name or usernames for most of my social media, which is Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
What is it? One more time?
Carlos Macklain.
Carlos Macklain.
CarlosMacklain.
Beautiful. Well, you guys heard it here. Follow the man. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram and TikTok as well too, since he's a big fan of it. And with that being said, thank you for tuning into our episode of Mind Fire Podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Tony Budri. Thank you, Carlos, for being here with us, and we will see you on our next episode.
Peace.
Peace.